Welcome back everyone. In today's video, we are talking about something that we all have encountered at some point. People who create trouble and turn around then play the victim. This behavior can be exhausting, frustrating, and leave you feeling helpless. But don't worry, by the end of this video, you will have the tools to deal with it effectively. Let's dive in. Let's first break down what we mean when we talk about someone with a victim mentality. It's not about being a true victim, someone who faced trauma or hardship. I'm talking about the person who chooses to see everything in life is unfair, where every setback is someone else's fault, and they refuse to take responsibilities for their own actions and outcomes. People with a victim mindset see themselves as powerless. They think the world is conspiring against them, and everything that goes wrong is because of someone else. They tend to avoid accountability and look for sympathy or attention. But here's the kicker. While being a victim may seem like it gives them a good sense of relief, it's not a long-term solution. In fact, it keeps them stuck in a loop of helplessness. So how do we handle someone who is stuck in this cycle? Step 1. Check yourself. Drop the label. Before we dive into handling the victim mentality, it's crucial to check your own mindset. It's easy to label someone as a victim and dismiss everything they say. But remember, when we label, we shut down the conversation and block our own ability to help. If you are constantly thinking, the person is so draining, I can't deal with this, you are in a mindset where you will just focus on their victimhood. The first step to deal with them is to genuinely want to help rather than just escape the situation. Drop the label and instead approach them with empathy and understanding. Remember, everyone's fighting their own battle, even if they don't show it. Step 2. Validate. Don't resist. When you deal with someone who is playing the victim, one of the worst things you can do is resist their feelings. Logic and reason aren't always going to work. If you try to argue with them or tell them they are wrong, it will only make them more entrenched in their mindset. Instead, try validating their feelings. This doesn't mean you agree with them. It means acknowledging their reality. For example, you can say, I hear you. It must feel tough when things aren't going the way you expected. Validating helps create a sense of understanding, and often that's all a person needs to start seeing things from a different angle. Step 3. Shift the focus to commitment and responsibility. Now that you have validated their feelings, it's time to shift the conversation. A victim mindset thrives in a space of resignation, where they feel powerless to change things. But deep down, everyone has a commitment to something. They just might not realize it. Ask yourself, what has this person given up on? What commitment did they abandon because life got tough? The key is to redirect them back to their core values and what they want to achieve. Ask questions like, what would you like to see happen in this situation? Even in this tough spot, who do you want to be? How do you want to show up? If things weren't this bad, what would your next move? Sometimes simply helping someone reconnect with their inner commitment and giving them permission to act in line with their values can be transformative. Step 4. Incorporate the physical body. There's a powerful connection between our mindset and our body. A person with a victim mindset often physically embodied that mindset. Slumped shoulders, head down, lack of energy. To shift the victim mentality, help them change their posture. Ask them, if you are proud of what you have accomplished, how do you be standing? Then encourage them to stand tall, shoulders back, head high. There is research showing that our posture can actually affect our mood and hormones. Standing with confidence releases testosterone and lowers stress hormone like cortisol. It's a small shift, but it can have a huge impact on their overall mindset. Step 5. Support action. Help them move forward. Once you have helped them shift their mindset and physical presence, it's time to move into action. Victims often get stuck in their own stories and excuses, which keeps them from moving forward. Help them break out that. Ask questions like, if you could take just one step today towards changing this, what would it be? What action would someone who is successful and empowered take in this situation? What would happen if you start acting as if you already had control over the situation? By focusing on small actionable steps, you can guide them out of victimhood and towards empowerment. Step 6. Follow up. Be consistent. Changing a victim mindset doesn't happen overnight. It's a pattern that's been ingrained over time, and breaking it requires persistence. After the conversation, check in with them. Send a text, make a call, ask how they are doing. Remind them of the commitment they made and actions they agreed to take. Don't be surprised if they fall back into old habits, but continue to offer support and hold them accountable. Remember, real change takes time. When you are dealing with someone who plays the victim, it's important to recognize that their behavior in often often rooted in a deep sense of helplessness and a lack of control over their circumstances. This mindset is a defense mechanism they have developed over time, likely as a way to cope with their own feelings of adequacy and frustration. But how do you deal with them without falling into the trap of enabling their victimhood? First, set clear boundaries. These individuals may try to drag you into their narrative, pulling you into their emotional drama. They may make you feel guilty for pointing out the truth or trying to help. However, if you don't establish healthy boundaries early on, you risk being constantly drained by their energy. Be firm in your responses and don't engage in the emotional games they play. You can still show empathy, but it's crucial to avoid feeding into their victim mentality. Next, understand that while you may want to help them, you cannot change their mindset for them. People who play the victim often see themselves as powerless, and no amount of logical argument and well-meaning advice will shift their perspective. Instead, try to create space for them to see their own responsibility in the situation. You can ask questions like, what role do you think you play in the situation? Or what could you do differently to change the outcome? This approach encourages them to take ownership and stop externalizing blame. And lastly, don't be afraid to take a step back if the situations become too toxic. In many cases, the victim mentality can be contagious, and if you are constantly exposed to it, it can negatively impact your own mindset. It's important to protect your own emotional health. Remind yourself that while you can support others, you cannot carry their burdens for them. To wrap up, dealing with someone who causes trouble and then plays the victim can be incredibly challenging, but it's not impossible. By checking our own mindset, validating their feelings, shifting the focus from commitment and responsibility, incorporating body language, supporting action, and following up, you can help someone break out of the victim mindset and move toward empowerment. If you have dealt with this before, I would love to hear your experiences and how you handled it. Drop a comment below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for more content. Thanks for watching, and remember, you have the power to change any situation, starting with the way you approach it.